Well, moving on to the second member of the dream team, it's the award-winning Skin Elixir. We've got a price here of £29 and a size of 30 mils. And that's going to last us a good long time, Jane, isn't it?
That one used on its own, I think you've definitely got, if you're using it twice a day, which you should be, you've definitely got 2 months. And then if you're using it after the cleanser, I would say you might even extend it a little bit more, because if you haven't stripped by using the cleanser, then you don't need to replace as much moisture or protect as much.
Okay, so what's in it and how do I use it?
This oil is, it's pure jojoba. You've got almost 98%, in fact you have got 98% organic jojoba in there. And again, that's an oil that is really, really deeply penetrating. It's going to help pro-collagen, pro-elastin. So the scaffolding, if you like, of the skin.
Is that what collagen is?
Elastin. If you imagine that you've got the scaffolding, and unfortunately every spoonful of sugar is going to destroy a thing of scaffolding, and every time that you do some damage, some sun damage, that sort of thing, you start to destroy that. So jojoba is really fabulous at replenishing the stocks of that. So that's why we call it the pro-collagen, pro-elastin oil. When you're using jojoba, really, really, really small amounts. So I'm going to put that on there for you.
Lovely.
And then what I tend to do is say just warm it up with the pads of the fingers.
Right, okay.
Only, it doesn't make it any more effective, it just spreads it finer. And sometimes if you're starting in the oil market, if you like, you don't want to end up looking oily. If you do, you are using too much. So warm it up, it's going to spread further, but also press it in. If you look closely at the skin, it's not flat. You've got lots of bumps. So what you want it to do is go in and then you can buff it. If you just wipe over the surface, you've only really moisturised half your skin.
Okay, so it's that pressing.
Pressing it in where you need it. And what will happen with the jojoba as well is it will not only deeply penetrate to moisturise and hydrate, it's also going to film over the skin, so protect you from losing moisture. So that's why it's really important to use a really small amount, press it in, buff it on so you've got that nice luminescent glow, but you shouldn't be looking oily, and then it will absorb and you can carry on putting your makeup on.
If it does look oily, does that mean you've used too much?
Pretty much, yes, yes.
And I can smell something wonderfully citrusy in here.
Well, we've got a really good blender. There are 9 essential oils in both the cleanser and the elixir. We've got Lang Lang, which is very, very floral. We've got sandalwood, so we've got masculine oils and we've got feminine oils. So again, it's about balancing out, so about getting the skin to really, really reach its ultimate point, if you like. We have got sweet orange in there, we've got lavender, so some of the old favourites which are real hard workers to get your skin to the place that it when you look in the mirror you think, not looking bad today.
Yes,
you know, that sort of look that we all want.
And what about the eye area? Can I press this into the eye area?
Absolutely. I would, any of my facial oils, you can work around this thin area here, the more delicate areas. I wouldn't put it on the eyelids because with oils, it's like if you've ever done it with a sun oil. What you don't want is over time for it to drip down. It's not going to damage your eyes, but it might just not be very helpful. So certainly around there, any area where it's prone to, shall we say, fine lines or wrinkles or signs of experienced skin, I would just pat that in. You can always add more, but I would say little and often.
Would you say there's an age when oils become more appropriate to you?
I think people, as they get more experienced in the skincare market, are more happy to try an oil. For me, I would encourage people to start using oils right from the get-go. And lots of the creams that we use have oils in them. But for me, I think I see oils as the food of the skin and creams as the water. We need both. One will feed and nourish from inside and the other will protective layer. I think jojoba will do both those jobs, but if you can get an oil into your skincare regime as soon as possible, then I think that you're creating a legacy of fabulous skin.
Now, how proud are you that this won an award in the Beauty Bible?
I'm extremely proud because also it's very, very early on. I wouldn't say it was freshly poured into the bottle, but it was one of those things you sort of think there's some awards, jeepers, should we enter them? You know, we've only been here a nanosecond. And we put it forward, and to come back and hear that other people think that you're doing the right thing and you're getting the results that you get, it's really confirmation that you're not just doing something for your own good, that you actually are achieving what you want to, which for me is ultimately giving women and men beautiful skin, getting that look in the mirror thinking, looking quite good.
Do you think you're a bit obsessed with oils?
Obsessed is probably a negative shade on the word. I'd say I am passionate.
I would say
about
you're very
oils.
passionate.
Yes,
as
I
well.
do work in the oil industry. Yes.
Yeah, and you know, we look at some oils, some facial oils on the market, and there are quite a few now.
Yes.
And sometimes I look at them and I think, yes, I like that. I know that I've had the chance to, through work often,
Yes.
try it out, and I know that I like it. But the price points are extremely high. And yet, with the very best ingredients, this is £29.
Yes. I shop around. It's not as glamorous on getting on a plane and wandering through the fields and sniffing the plants and thinking, yes, this is the harvest for me. When the goods come into our warehouse, I will sniff. I do require that all our oils are raw, first cold pressing, which means that the process they've gone through in extraction, it means that they're never higher than 40 degrees. So we have got the first drops of goodness coming out of that berry or that seed or that
Can
nut.
you tell? Can you tell if the
I can
temperature's
tell.
different?
I can certainly tell if there's variation, and there's going to be, and that's why my customers have to know that sometimes if you've used the elixir 1 year and then you buy it and it's come through from another harvest or another batch, there's going to be a change. Mother Nature doesn't do the same thing the whole
like
time.
Like wine, like different
Exactly.
years of wine.
Exactly. You're going to expect a difference, but fundamentally the ingredients and the structure of the oil is going to do the same by your skin.
Gosh, it's an amazing story. You've obviously got an amazing nose as well, and amazing knowledge. This is £29. You've got 30 mils, which is a good size for an oil. It's called the Skin Elixir. It's part of that dream team. So if you can use it with the cleanser as well, then all well and good. And you've got more synergy there. But if you want to get this, remember that price of £29 does include your postage and packaging, and we're going to get it to you wherever you are.